Testing. Hello, can you hear me?
Good evening, Mr. Demikoff.
Okay, you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Oops, sorry, I was muted.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Mr. Gomes. Hello, Dr. Martinez, Mr. Feitros. Rodriguez.
Is it on purpose that my video is turned off, that all our videos are turned off?
No.
It says you stopped it.
When I say start video, it says you cannot start the video because the host has stopped it.
Ms. Lloyd Koenig, can you look at that?
I mean, I look better on my profile picture than I do in real life, so I'm okay with it.
I don't believe we control that.
Yeah, it says
I mean,
you
you have a,
I believe it's in settings. I guess the host has to go into settings and allow us
okay, let me take,
to
okay.
listen to.
Let me take a look, see if I can do that. No problem.
or participants.
Let's see. Okay, try it now, please.
Yep, here we are.
Thank you, Mrs. Rodriguez.
There I am.
You can always use the Zoom tips.
Yeah, I'm not coming up either, Jim.
You should be able to now, Mr. Demikoff. Everybody else seems, there was a setting that I had to check, which I did, but
What
everybody
do I have to do here to get start video?
start video.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Good evening, Mr. Gibbons. Fernandez?
Present.
Other board members a few minutes to get on board.
Thank you.
So far, we have 15 members of the public in attendance.
Jim, do you want to promote? Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, do we have an agenda? Did I miss that for today's public attendance?
I'm sorry, Mr. Feischers, what was that?
The agenda, did I miss that for public attendance?
The only agenda is to open up the meeting, have a public participation, then go into closed session.
They would participate on,
That's just on anything. That's, yeah, anytime you have a meeting, special or regular.
yeah, okay, but there was nothing in particular that was on the agenda is my point.
No, nothing. Nothing on
Okay,
the agenda at all, just to go into closed session.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Jim, are you going to promote members of the public?
Yes, just when we get to public participation, we'll do it just like we would, in a regular meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Jim, who are we waiting on?
I was just checking that. I see Mary O'Neill, but I don't see her picture. Oh, there she is. Hi, Mrs. O'Neill. Trying to figure out who we're missing. Dr. Martinez.
Looks like Bob and
Bob,
Mr. Cathcart.
Dave,
Mr. Cathcart, I don't believe will be attending. So that leaves Mr. Feeman.
He's representing us at the Multidisciplinary Honor Society currently.
is Carrie going to be here too?
She is supposed to attend, yes.
And what about Dr. Bender?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay, our board attorney is about to log into the public meeting now. Mr. Thiemann, I believe, is joining as we speak. This says he joined the meeting. I think, no, he joined the wrong one. I need to call Mr. Thiemann real quick, Mr. Gibbons. He hit the wrong link by accident.
No problem. Thank you, Jim.
Yep. Okay, Mr. Thieman's going to join the public meeting in a few moments as well. Excuse me.
Were we able to get Mr. Thiemann on, Jim?
He's trying to join now. I was on the phone with him. He used the wrong link by accident. Board attorney informed me that she was going to be logging on shortly by email. I'm looking out for her.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, hello, Carrie. Hi. I didn't even.
Hi.
Okay, I believe we have everybody, Mr. Gibbons.
Okay, we could start with the flag salute. I pledge allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
To the
Republic for which stands one nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business in their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Ridgefield Park Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted at the Bergen Record, Municipal Building, Board of Education offices, and district website. When school buildings are open, regularly advertised meetings will take place at the junior senior high school cafeteria, 1 Ozzie Nelson Drive, Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. Meetings will be held in person when buildings are open and will be limited to 9 members of the public on a first-come, first-served basis. All meetings will also be made available remotely through Zoom. Instructions for accessing public boardings will be made available from a link on the homepage of the district website at least 6 hours in advance of regular meetings. Board meeting agendas and documents are also posted to the district website and can be accessed to the same aforementioned link. Public participation will be conducted both in person and virtually through Zoom. All public will be muted throughout the meeting. Public participation comments are limited to 3 minutes. The public will be able to both speak and be seen by the board when participating remotely through Zoom. Individuals participating virtually that wish to make comments during the public participation will need to raise their hand by clicking the icon within their Zoom window. Individuals participating by telephone that wish to make comments during public participation will need to hit *9 on their telephone to raise their hand. Business administrator will then unmute individuals one at a time to speak in the order that their hand is raised.
Thank you, Jim.
To roll call, Mr. Gibbons?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Fernandez?
Here.
Mr. Feitros?
Yes.
Mr. Gomes?
Yes.
Dr. Martinez?
Yes.
Mrs. O'Neill?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Mr. Thiemann? Oh, we had him. Mr. Porcelli?
Yes.
And President Gibbons?
Yes.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you, Mr. Thiemann. Quorum present.
Thank you. If you could open it up to any public questions.
Public participation, okay. So we'll give the public a minute or two. Excuse me. Okay, we have one member of the public. Mrs. Lloyd Coney, you want to promote? Okay. Can you hear us, Ms. Ramos?
Yes, hi, good evening.
Okay, name, please, address.
Christina Ramos, 382 Teaneck Road.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. So I see this is a special meeting that's being called in regards to the superintendent. I was wondering if they can fill in the community about what's going on. Seems like this has been about the second or third one that's been taking place. And I think it's owed to the community to know what's happening with the superintendent.
So, Mr. President, I don't know if you want me to
Yes,
assist in.
thank you, Carrie.
No problem. So unfortunately, Ms. Ramos, while I understand that the community may be interested in understanding what the purpose of the meeting is, the board is not permitted to comment on personnel matters. So they're unable to provide any update.
Okay, at some point, we'll be informed of what's happening, because I think it's important that the parents of the community, of our children that go to our district, is involved in, you know, any thoughts or opinions in regards to the person who's leading our district. I think it's important to share it, because, I mean, after all, we are the parents, and these are our children who go, and we have actual children who go. There's some board members that are on the board. We all due respect do not have any children in this district right at this time. So, you know, I'm just respectfully asking that we be included into what is happening and the process of whatever is happening. I also want to reiterate what I've said in the past and other board meetings of how, you know, compared to, I've been in the district since my daughter started kindergarten, which is now 10 years. I have a 9th grader and I have a 6th grader. And I've gone to many meetings for many years. I've seen you, I've seen some people who are on the board there, you know, religiously. And I've never seen the district move forward in the 10 years. And I've only been here 10 years. So in 10 years, I haven't seen the district move forward as it has now under Dr. Bender. So I'm just want to, you know, make the public know that, and whoever's been here as long as I have, I'm sure you've seen the same. So again, Ms. Bender has done a wonderful job. I think that the school's grounds have never been the way I've seen them now. We have new bathrooms, we have new educational programs being set in place, and I just would like to continue to see the district move forward. And I think Ms. Bender has been doing just that. And she's also been an educator in our district, and she's known the district from in and out. And that's basically just what I wanted to say and reiterate again. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. If at some point in time the board's discussion is no longer confidential, as with all matters it discussed in executive session, it will be made public.
Do we have another promotion, Mr. Davis? Thank you for your comments.
We may have lost Dr. Martinez.
Do we have Dr. Martinez?
Yes, I'll be on the lookout for him.
Thank you, Jim.
Maybe we should pause a moment to see if he comes back.
Want to give him a moment to come back on?
Yes, please. And I'll message him meanwhile.
Hi.
Ms. O'Neill, excuse me one moment, Ms. Mark.
Okay.
He texted me he had to reboot his computer. He's going to try to get back on.
Okay.
Okay, if we let's give Dr. Martinez a moment here.
All right. Should I wait?
What are the new normal procedures? Do we move on, or I don't want to exclude any board members, you know, from public discussion.
So you have a quorum of the board. You can continue. You can give him a minute as well. There's nothing that says you can't, but with the quorum of the board, you can continue.
All right, Ms. Mark, if you could continue, that would be fine then. And
Okay.
I'll be on the lookout for Dr. Martinez.
Okay. So Gillian Mark, 305 5th Street, Ridgefield Park. I just wanted to speak about Dr. Bender. So when she was being hired for the role of superintendent, I was very anti Dr. Bender. I actually brought up that her personal relationship, and I was told by the lawyer for the Board of Ed that it was not an issue. and the board agreed it wasn't an issue. So as rumors run rampant in this town, because everyone's a Yenta in this town, we all know that it's being brought up by the board now that it is an issue. So you guys can't use that as an issue. Thank you very much. The 3-month probation was blown off because she was doing such a phenomenal job. So let's all give her kudos for that, because no one wanted to stretch out her probation and you guys made her permanent right away. So remember that she's doing a phenomenal job. She is actually working very well with CPAC, and I am eating my words from what I said, and I'm admitting it to everyone who's listening. She meets with us monthly via Zoom. She's doing wonders for the special children. We are working very well together. I'd also like to say something about the state monitor, who I used to resent, no offense, Mr. Demikoff, but I used to resent because your salary was coming out of our district. But I find you very vital because you're keeping this board honest. So the problem is not Dr. Bender or Mr. Demikoff, but it's a third of this board. And until we can get an honest board, we need Dr. Bender and Mr. Demikoff. And that is my say. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your comments. If we could promote the next speaker. And good, we have Dr. Martinez.
Yes, hello, this is Suheni Perez Sadler, 139 Overpeck Avenue, Ridgefield Park. I'm also disappointed with what I'm hearing around the quick action that the Board of Education is trying to take around Dr. Bender. This special meeting was called very quickly, and I actually don't know what the process is around providing the public with enough time. Thank you to the other parents for alerting us via Facebook that this special meeting was taking place. That and around hiding around confidentiality creates a mistrust in the community because of the lack of transparency. I myself had different apprehensions with Dr. Bender that were very public. You know, my family started a petition that garnered 800 signatures around moving Ridgefield Park School District to be a lot more anti-racist, right? I felt like Dr. Bender was at the time not doing enough. And since then, I've worked with her very closely now as part of the Board of Ed Social Justice Committee, but also having ongoing conversation with different members that she's hired, including Dr. Hayes, and feel like while we're not making the progress fast enough, we are making progress and moving in the right direction. This is very disruptive, especially during a pandemic. Especially with a superintendent that's showing that she's doing the work and getting it done. And so as a member of the public, I feel extremely concerned about this process and the disruption that it will cause on the educational outcomes of our students. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good evening.
Hello, Elaine Marin, 77th Street. So the rumor mill has been spinning rapidly right now, and whatever the issues may be with Dr. Bender, it seems incredibly unreasonable at this point, unless there is a matter of no faith from the staff or something that would require swift legal action to waste time on these meetings in the middle of award, prom, graduation season. And again, may I stress, during the downswing of a pandemic is extremely frivolous and non-consequential, or I'm sorry, and inconsequential. Rather than putting all the passion into fighting for sports, giving back money to gain back control from the state, and now clearly not supporting our superintendent, we should instead be continuing to work on capital improvements, prioritizing academics for all of our students, and working on creating a more competitive and noteworthy school district. Now, Dr. Bender came here from a cutting edge district, and I know because I teach there. where she was an integral part of the technology department. She teaches, sorry, my dog, she teaches on the college level. She holds a doctorate, and she's committed to being a lifelong learner. She also is open to suggestions and to working with all stakeholders. In closing, I just want to ask that the board let her do her job. She is qualified. She is proving that she can do this. We are in the middle of, these unprecedented times still. Just let her do her job. Stop wasting her time with things like this and getting on her case about ridiculous things, I suppose. I mean, I'm basing this on these meetings where I see so much passion being put forth for things that don't matter to the majority of the students in this district. So please, just let her do her job. She will prove herself. I have faith that she will. She has already proven herself. And I, as I said last meeting, I really look forward to what the future brings. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay, Ms. Loyacona.
Good evening. I'm sorry, you're on mute now.
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Good evening,
Name
sir.
and address, please.
Yes, Ed DeSantis, 15 Homestead Place. I have to agree with everyone that has come before me in their accolades for Bender. She has come on board as a new superintendent during some of the most difficult times, and yet has moved this district forward for every student, special needs, and all grade levels. She's commanded a lot of respect from the staff and the community, much more than even the original 800 signatures that came before. I would think that the board at this point, if this is part of the evaluation process, and I've been through a lot of superintendent evaluations, it's highly unusual to go on this long with this much private discussion. I would urge the board to rethink whatever is in their minds at this point, and it's not all of you, but certainly her personal relationships, her ability to get this district through these times, her ability to move the district forward almost as if it's a normal school year and it's been everything but. To consider anything that, considering yourselves lucky to have her here, is disappointing to say the least. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay, we'll bring in, promote the next person.
Good evening. Good evening.
Am I on, Joyce?
Yes, name, please, and address.
Sorry, it doesn't give me a heads up. Okay, it's Joyce Essig, 226 5th Street.
Thank you.
Okay. So I was one of the many parents who were unhappy that my child was not going to school in September. And we put a lot of blame on Dr. Bender. And obviously, after going through this whole process, taking a step back and realizing that Dr. Benders did this for a reason. She brought a lot of technology. She brought a lot of programs. And at the end of the day, it was to make sure the kids, their families, and her staff stayed safe through this pandemic. So I just want to applaud her on all of the hard work that she put in. I mean, she personally called me when I had a problem with her to really talk it out and to get her point of view on everything. So I appreciated her personal connection to me. And, if you look at past superintendents, I mean, Richardson, pure example. What did he bring to the table besides all of the conflicts of interest? Look what she has brought during a pandemic to keep our kids well adjusted during this really crazy time. Our kids need consistency. That's why she was able to bring in the cohorts and then combine the cohorts. She brought in laptops when other districts didn't have laptops to help a lot of the parents in town that don't have all these extra devices laying around. So whether this push to remove her is personal or not, I think everybody on the board and in the district needs to look at all the different conflicts of interest that exist and put the kids first. Forget about your ego, forget about the sports, put the kids and the education first. I'm very lucky that my child is doing really well in the cohorts, and I'm glad that we've all stayed safe during this. So let's continue to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, ma'am.
Okay, we'll promote the next candidate now.
Good evening. Good evening, ma'am. I think you're on mute.
Mrs. Gottlieb, can you hear us? If so, could you unmute yourself, please?
If any,
Sorry, new phone, sorry. Leslie Gottlieb, 464A Liberty Street, Little Ferry. Yes, I was alerted this afternoon to this meeting. It seemed rather short notice. I don't know if it's about the superintendent evaluation or some confidential matter, but it seems like an odd time with less than 2 weeks to go to the end of the school year to start talking about this stuff, unless it's an emergency that she's done something, that Dr. Binder does something of urgency. And, you know, again, I don't even see all the board members at the table, including Little Ferry's rep, Nick. So, you know, it's nice that you're soliciting the public's input, but it still seems like a very mysterious and strange time to be doing this. And I know there are people supporting Dr. Binder and some that don't support Dr. Binder, but I'm just not getting a good feeling, even though like my son is graduating, he graduates on the 25th. I think that this is not leading to a good perception of Ridgefield Park School District to be doing something like this. It's like some of the old tricks that have gone on in the 4 or 5 years that my son went through Ridgefield Park High School. Thank you.
Just to be clear, Nick Feitros has been here from the beginning of the meeting.
Okay,
thank you, ma'am.
Hi, Christina Ramos, 382 Teaneck Road. Just coming back in, you know, I completely agree, listening to all the other ladies and gentlemen who's just recently spoken. I don't speak as good as them because I'm not a public speaker, but I try my best. You know, I didn't know about any personal relationships until recently. The rumor mill has it running, and I think it's ridiculous that we're focusing on something that has to do with anybody's relationship. It has nothing to do with the students, the education that they're receiving, or the leadership of this district. So as someone mentioned before, we've had so many other conflicts of interest in the district, and this has never been an issue or brought up previously. We also, we had very low performing, you know, superintendents in the past, and they were, you know, put up on a pedestal, and they didn't belong there. They didn't really push the district forward. Nothing came out of, you know, their term. And I think that, you know, we finally have somebody who has moved us from being from a standstill of a, you know, district that hasn't done nothing in the past years to a district that's been moving forward. And I think it's ridiculous that some of the board members have this time on their hands to put so much energy into things other than focusing on what's best for our students. So that just shows the lack of experience and knowledge, and some of these board members shouldn't be on the board and should have never been elected. Their views and their I don't know how to say, like, I don't know really what they're doing there, but they're not doing their job. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Okay, we'll promote the next attendee.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening. Jay Sean Sadler, 139 Overpeck Avenue. So if you forgive me, I'm just coming into this feeling blindsided in the middle of making some macaroni and cheese for my family, and I got notice from from a citizen that I trust that this meeting was happening. I had no idea that the meeting was happening. I want to say that I have, had my differences with Dr. Bender, but as I've heard someone else say, she's, always kept an open door and an open mind, and she's always communicated with my family and I've seen her do the same thing with other families, with students, with staff. I am very concerned, what I see from the board. This just feels very wrong. It feels undemocratic. I would like to state that, as a community, from what I'm hearing from everyone, we would like to see Dr. Bender be given the opportunity to actually do her job and to continue the progress that we've been making as a district. And I would urge the board to not only dutifully listen to our words that we're expressing now, but to actually take action according to those words. I hear a lot of support out there for Dr. Bender, and I think that she should be given an opportunity to continue the positive work that she's been doing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your comments. Mr. Tevis, do we have?
Okay, at this time, I do not see any other members of the, oh, wait, we have one more member of the public. Mrs. Lloyd Koenig. Please promote this person.
Sorry, one last thing. Christina Ramos, 382 Teaneck Road. I'm sure you guys have it memorized. Pay me a visit. We can have some coffee. We can chat. Anyway, I believe that the problem is not Ms. Bender. I think that the board is, some of the people on the board are the problem, and you're hindering her ability to do her job. Please let her do her job. We all have better things. I could be somewhere. I have to send my husband to go pick up my daughter because I couldn't. We all have things. Mr. Sodler is trying to make his macaroni and cheese. We all have things that we have to do. Let Miss Bender do her job. She shouldn't have to be worrying about looking over her shoulder about this nonsense. She's doing her job. Many people are in support of her. Some are not, and that's probably because some of you have been in their ear. But come on, I mean, we've been through this. I've been at so many meetings. I mean, it's ridiculous what happens. And I've formed my own opinion. I had many birds in my ear throughout the years. I formed my own opinion. I asked the community to be more involved and seek the truth on your own, that you will start to see things like I did. I didn't see things until I started going to meetings. So I started attending meetings. It's not something that I really want. I wake up in the morning saying, oh, I want to attend the board meetings because I have nothing better to do. Trust me, I have lots to do. But I do this because my children are important to me. I believe the children of RP are important to their parents. Some people are afraid to speak. That's fine. I'm not a good speaker, but I'm here. If you want to send me a PM, anybody who's listening, I'll be willing to take your questions, comments, and I will gladly relay them to the board. But I mean, these are your kids, guys. You need to be involved, and you need to do what you need to enforce. You need to ask the board to do what's right, because right now they're not. They're distracted and they're focusing on everything other than what they should. And I'm pretty much sick of it. So I think it's time that maybe the board needs to be evaluated.
We bring in the next member of the public, Mrs. Lloyd Koenig.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Susan DeSanta, 15 Homestead Place.
Thank you.
I'd like to say that many people put out a petition to get Dr. Bender, and the parents in the community fought very hard to get her this job with a board that really didn't want to do it and tried every way possible not to give her the job. And now that she has it, I have to say in the 30 years that I've been involved in this district, I haven't seen this kind of innovation, excitement, and change since Dr. David Reitmeyer. and to harass her and to get in the way of her bringing this district forward is absolutely a disgrace. And that's all I have to say.
Okay, could you bring in the next member of the public, please, Mrs. Loyacona?
Thank you. Good evening.
Hello, I am Malik. I'm from 6th grade. I think that Dr. Bender has been very beneficial to this whole school system. Me as a student, I could say that she's made a lot of changes that I have really appreciated and liked. And I just think that it's a very poor choice to get rid of her. And I think we should just let her keep doing her thing and making progress.
Hi, I'm also a student of the Roosevelt school system, Ridgefield Park school system. And I also feel like we've benefited from Dr. Bender being here. We've also had a lot of changes going on recently. We've had a bunch of different principals, teachers, stuff like that. And we need stability. So I feel like that'd just be a really great thing for us to have. Plus, we really value Dr. Bender being here. Thank you. And my name is Jasleen Sadler.
Thank you.
Okay, could you bring the next member of the public in, Mrs. Loyacona?
Those kids are amazing.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm in the car. I found out about this meeting also from.
Name and address, please, ma'am, for the record.
Oh, I'm sorry. Marley Gonzalez, 225 Euclid Avenue.
I'm sorry, what was the last name?
Gonzalez, G-O-N.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I too just found out about this meeting through Ridgefield Park Moms on Facebook, thank goodness. And I have to say, I'm really disappointed to hear I missed the beginning of the meeting, but I've gotten from what I've heard that somebody's trying to, or the board is trying to remove Dr. Bender. Dr. Bender's been amazing. My daughter started the 7th grade this year during the pandemic. She's been remote. I feel like Dr. Bender has kept all of the parents really informed, has sought our input, has really listened. She's a professional through and through, something unfortunately that we don't see a lot of in the school district. And to lose her is really just horrible. I mean, we have so little here right now. I feel like our children have inherited bad decisions and bad decisions from prior superintendents. We're just starting to climb out of debt extremely slowly. And Dr. Bender is fantastic. She's forward thinking, she's innovative. Why would we get rid of the one person that really seems to be making a difference? I really would ask the board to reconsider this. She is an asset to Ridgefield Park. We need more people like her. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I don't see any other members of the public at this time, Mr. Gibbons.
We could have a motion to go into executive session. I also just want to say our deepest condolences to the Gibbs family. Rest in peace, Maureen Gibbs, and all that she's done for the school system and the community. She was sorely missed.
She was a true Ridgefield Park person, and just a terrible loss for our community and for the school system. Did so many for so many children, so much. It's terrible, and just God bless her family.
I say that very dedicated woman, loved the town, loved the children. Big loss.
And my deepest condolences to the Gibbs family, myself, and very hard loss.
to her and her family. A true Ridgefield Park person through and through.
Terrible loss, and a member of the Rotary Club, on the board of the library committee, and many, a counselor in our school, among many other duties she's held. So rest in peace, Ms. Gibbs. If we could, I'm not sure if we had a motion.
I need a motion. Do we have a motion on the floor?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Sir, right? Mr. Pacelli. And is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Thiemann. Okay. Resolved that the Board of Education retire to executive session for the following purposes: to discuss matters related to the Superintendent of Schools. Board of Education will return to this public session in approximately 90 minutes. The minutes of the Board of Education will not be returning to the public session. No action will be taken. The public meeting will be adjourned directly from the executive session meeting. The minutes of the executive session shall be made public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, so we'll close down the public meeting and meet everybody back in closed session in a few minutes. Thank you. Good evening.